Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. And there's no better way to wind down the day than with today's market close commentary. We'll be looking at the overall ASX 200 performance for the day and exploring the top gainers and losers before eyeing companies that are in the news today. So let's dive straight in. While the Australian share market closed marginally higher today, despite the Reserve Bank of Australia announcing its plans to start reducing the bond buying stimulus to $4 billion a week, despite coronavirus lockdowns hurting the economy. The Australian Central Bank kept its cash rate target at 10 basis points, and the ASX 200 closed 0.02% higher and at just over 7,530 after rallying towards the close of the session. Earlier, the domestic shares opened flat this morning, with the major miners weighing on the market gains. The ASX 200 opened down just 2 points at 7,526.50. Yesterday, the Australian benchmark index rose marginally as well, and the domestic stock market was also weighed down by weakness in iron ore prices and ex-dividend companies like Origin Energy, Amcor CDI, GWA Group, Reliance Worldwide Corp and Nine Entertainment. In separate developments, weekly ANZ Roy Morgan Consumer Confidence Index, a pointer to future household spending, slipped 1.8%. Investors are also keeping an eye on the European Central Bank meeting this week, and the energy sector emerged as the best performer with a 0.7% gain, followed by healthcare and industrials. Meanwhile, the metals and mining sector emerged as the top laggard, with over 1% in losses. The three big miners were down as much as 3% after the iron ore prices fell overnight to about $132 per tonne. BHP fell 1.49%, Fortescue shed nearly 3%, and Rio Tinto lost an in-between 2%. Property and financial shares lost over 0.5% as meal kit delivery provider Marley Spoon slipped over 8% after Woolworths sold most of its stake. Shares in Woolworths were down 0.27%. And then in banking, NAB fared the worst of the big four, with shares down at 1.17%. Meanwhile, US and Canadian markets provided no lead since these were closed for public holidays. And European shares closed at near record levels after a surprise rise in German factory orders indicated an improving global demand. On this note, let's shift our lens to the top gainers and losers of the day. Well, first up, Chalice Mining topped the gainers list by rising over 6%. Some of the other top performers were Flight Centre, up nearly an identical 6%, and Megaport up nearly 4%. On the flip side, though, Appen emerged as the top loser with nearly 5% in losses. Some of the other top laggards were Regis Resources down 4% and Mineral Resources down an equal 4%. Well, it's time now for a short break in the show, but stay tuned because I'll be right back to give you more details on the market closing commentary. Tune in to stay updated while on the move.
We will tell you where the crypto craze has reached,
where the property market is headed next,
what the world is doing to become more environmentally friendly.
Apart from tracking the daily market charter,
be on top of the latest news and announcements
with Kalkine TV. Welcome back to the Market Close commentary. Let's have a look now at the shares that are in the news today. First up, Australian telecommunications company, Aussie Broadband, announced plans to raise $120 million for the purpose of accelerating product development and to support new opportunities. $110 million would be raised in the form of institutional placement, and the remaining $10 million via a share purchase plan. Shares of Aussie Broadband were paused from trading. And meanwhile, a lithium producer Ioneer awarded the license, engineering and equipment contract to DuPont Clean Technologies. The stock fell as much as 3% following this. Next up, diversified asset management firm Navigator Global Investments rose 2% after announcement of the definitive agreement to acquire a 32% stake in Longreach Alternatives, which is expected to contribute immediately to the Navigator's earnings. Moving on, biotherapeutic tech development company Orthocell has secured a new patent in Canada and Hong Kong for its novel cell-grow collagen medical device platform. These patents would further help the company to strengthen its position in regenerative medicine product development. Following this, the stock rose 6% during the day. And the last stock on our list is buy now, pay later company OpenPay, whose shares rose over 4% after the company announced that it has partnered with multiple automotive players. Victorian Automobile Chamber of Commerce, tyre maker Goodyear and Dunlop Tyres Australia, plus Bosch Car Service Australia as well. Now to our last segment, where we look at the US e-commerce platform Shop.com and their latest announcement of accepting crypto payments. While the buzz around cryptocurrencies is intensifying as their march to the mainstream is gathering more and more steam. Be it gains from investments, acceptance in the form of legit payments, or the US buzzed NFT, the crypto world keeps on expanding. Recently, US e-commerce platform Shop.com, which is owned by Market America, has partnered with crypto payments infrastructure provider BitPay to accept payments in the form of cryptocurrencies. Currently, the company is accepting the only popular cryptos like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and so on. BitPay provides businesses or merchants with the infra to accept and settle payments in the form of cryptos. And it's the largest Bitcoin and other crypto payment services provider in the world. BitPay also provides services to other popular businesses like Spotify and Microsoft. Cryptocurrencies are getting wider acceptance as a legit mode of payment despite high fluctuations in their value. Recent cases of money heist in the form of cryptos and governments trying to curb and regulate the space. According to a report by Cointelegraph, 93% of people in a survey said yes when asked if they would consider making a purchase using cryptos in the future. The companies are gradually recognizing the clear trend of acceptance of cryptos and are trying to capitalize on it by providing more services related to cryptocurrencies. Well, that's about all we have time for in the last trade, but I hope you enjoyed the market close commentary for today. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the morning with our first special report on the pre-market buzz. Holly Shields signing off.